G'day YouTube, how the heck we doing? It is Foul Play here. I'm back again for some more Pauper action. So we had a short-lived little time period there where Chainer's Edict was not super prevalent in the format. Fortunately, that has expired currently, with Dimir control increasing in popularity and also running more and more copies of Chainer's Edict main deck. As a response to this, obviously, we're going to bring back up to 4 copies of the cartridge of Solidarity, trimming out on 1 Sentinel's Eyes to make way for that. Additionally to this, in the sideboard, we've made room for 3 copies of Young Wolf, which previously I think I put down to 0, but there's no way we're going forth into this league with 0 copies, with Chainer's Edict being in the metagame. Other cards in the sideboard of note are Crimson Acolyte for Burn, Standard Bearer for core gate matchups, matchups where the opponents might be running Standard Bearer, etc. Gut Shot as tech against opponent Standard Bearers, also into like Ponzo, kill Arbor Elf turn 1, stop them from interacting with our land, pretty strong there. Also good against Elves, killing off like a Mana Dock. Flaring Pain into Fog decks like Corgate, Relic of Progenitus, into like Graveyard Loop decks. And yeah, Criff's Insight. It is really good into decks that interact with their enchantments a lot, exiling those ones. Now with the main deck, we are running the wacky tech of Lotus Petal. It's actually pretty strong. Allows you to get your creature out, or like your aura onto your creature a little, like a turn earlier most of the time. A little bit of mana fixing in a format which we don't have great mana fixing, being Utopia, Sprawl, Abundant Growth. And yeah, the tempo is actually really, really strong and shouldn't be undervalued. I know it's card disadvantage, but the tempo is definitely more important for our deck. With that out of the way, let's get into the video. All right, here we are for the first match. We won the die roll. With this hand, our mana is pretty average. We're also a little bit aura light. If you know, this ancestral, if we resolve this ancestral mask on turn 3, we've still got a 1/1, which isn't great. If we like break it and only draw white auras, no mana source, we could be in like a very average spot. I think we can look for a better 6 here. The upside to that previous hand was very, very high, by the way. Opponent keeps 7. Still no creature. Well, that's pretty lame. I'll go ahead and keep this one. It is an improvement on the first hand, ever so slightly. At this point, it's probably Ancestral Mask, and we'll keep like Utopia, Sprawl, Bogles, Sideboarding Training. Seems like a decent place to be. Opponent plays Quandix, Campus, and Tap. Is this like Ephemeratron? Is that what's going on here? Not entirely sure. I'm sure we'll find out shortly. We'll just go ahead and find Forest, which is sort of perfect, and into Sideboarding Training, drawing into Cartridge of Solidarity. Alright, so reasonable recovery from a very low resource hand. Opponent plays Snow Island, passing to us. Alright, well, let's keep them honest. Let's go ahead and cast our Cartouche here. That one resolves as well. Alright. It's just a simple little attack. Maybe it's like a Turbo Fog deck or something. Growth Spiral, okay. Playing in the Thornwood Falls Desert. Well, that's not what we want to see at this point. Attack for 4 on our 4th turn is not particularly the aggression we want or need. Opponent can deal 1 damage to our creature, which I guess they're going to do. Yeah, nice. Wait, what? They let that go through? End of combat. Wouldn't you have done that during our damage step? That's interesting sequencing. I thought he was going to sequence it in between first strike damage and regular damage, but that wasn't the case. Growth Spiral again. Wow. Well, opponent, you got all the lands in the world now. Alright, opponent plays Stream of Thoughts. Target player mills 4 cards. You shuffle up to 4 cards from your graveyard into your library. Replicate as well. Alright. Okay, an opponent's got a Moment's Peace in the graveyard, which is going to be a frustrating one for us. Weather the Storm in there as well. Yikes. It looks like there is a deck called Spiral Lands. And that looks to be what our opponent is on currently. I think they definitely have us this game. Holy shit, what draws these are. Cartouche was a great draw. The first forest was a good draw, and after that, it's been all downhill. Piece of the puzzle. Alright, so opponent preordained pieces of the puzzle to hand. Oops, I just cleared one more card than I needed to there. Alright, well, we have our first aura. It's not a hard-hitting aura, unfortunately. And attack in. I don't see like a huge value to playing our lands out here currently. Maybe we can like bluff. We've got like a ram through in hand or something, and if they play one of their creatures, we could threaten lethal that way. Now preordain from our opponent. Opponent plays piece of the puzzle. Finds moment's peace, accumulated knowledge, tangle. It's like just turbo fog our opponent's deck. A frustrating place to be. Chooses tangle and accumulated knowledge. So I went to the graveyard as well. 2 moments peace in the graveyard, tangle in hand. Yep. I mean, they haven't quite got us locked here, but this is just going to be one of those frustratingly slowed games. It's like warrior tokens are so weak into desert, man. It's like so depressing. Alright, opponent plays accumulated knowledge, drawing some cards. Drawing some more cards. 21 cards left in their library currently. And passing to us. Alright, well, we might as well throw this one down and throw this one down. We always could draw a white aura. And that one resolves. And lol, just for memes, the 3rd copy of Cartouche Solidarity. Alright, so we'll attack in there with this Ledge Walker now. Opponent takes the 3 damage, going to 3 life with 2 flashbackable cards in the graveyard, and maybe potentially a way to get Tangle back into hand here. We'll see. Another accumulated knowledge. Jeez. I think that's all 4 now. I think he's casted 3 of them though. 14 cards in hand, 11 left in the deck. Stream of thought from the opponent, so they can shuffle a few back in now. Oh wait, they're targeting us. All right, so this is the lock, is they very, very slowly mill us out by the looks of things. Stream of thought. And now a preordain. Another growth spiral as well. Preordain again. All right, opponent's comboing some spells off here. Look at him go. 1 top or 1 bottom with the preordain. Frantic inventory. Weather the storm, gaining a million billion life. Sure thing. All the way up to 24. Alright, well, we have a chance to do a little bit of a chunk of damage to our opponent. It's possible that if they have Tangle, they can get us. If they have a Moment's Peace in hand, they can like stop us as well. I'm just going to attack in and force as much as we can here. Like we're not technically dead to them, but it's a very, very precarious spot we're in. Alright, and Warrior Token goes bye-bye as well. So Alan from our opponent now, Frantic Inventory. Stream of thought, yep. So every time they do this, they can target us now, and then they shuffle 4 cards from their graveyard back into their library. Accumulated knowledge, so they can keep hitting these cantrips of theirs and keep themselves from being decked out while they slowly deck us out and fog the damage. I think we're going to be in a pretty good spot here post board. We have got these Flaring Pains, which are going to be very useful, in addition to Relic of Progenitus, which is going to be pretty good also. Another Weather the Storm from the opponent. Yikes. Up to 32. Alright, I might just concede there for time and entertainment purposes. You can definitely like grind for time on your opponent and try to win the matches that way. He's playing pretty quickly though, so I don't think that would be likely even if that was the way I was going to play. So here we can see a Spiral Lands deck. This particular one has more creatures. My current opponent had a whole bunch of actual spells as opposed to that. Accidentally clicking in these pop-ups here, apologies. So the main thing to be worried about from the sideboard is Chainer's Edict type effects. We did see black mana in the Bajuka Bog, so that is quite a possibility. After that, I don't think we really have too much to be worried about. What's Claws? Deals 3 damage to each creature with flying. Sure, we don't care about that one. Reminder as well, guys, if you do enjoy the video, please consider subscribing. Alright, so as we were saying just before, Flaring Pain is definitely going to be good into their fog effects. Relic of Progenitus is going to be good into their combo. I think Vigilance is reasonable here. I think card advantage is fine. Probably Armadillo Cloak is our weakest card because we don't really need that life gain, right? Let's go ahead and cut that one out. We kept keeping the Ancestral Mask. I didn't see a lot of counter magic from our opponent. I didn't really see much Enchantment Destruction. If there was more Enchantment Destruction, there could be an argument for Krufix's Insight, but I think we want this big hitter here, and being quick with Lotus Petal works too. Alright, so we see this hand. I think this is pretty reasonable, and I'm going to go ahead and keep it. I think given we are on the play and we're not guaranteed a second land drop, we're probably best off leading on Utopia Sprawl and then turn to Scout plus Ethereal Armor. We draw a sorry, let's click the right card. If we draw a land on turn 2 anyway, it'll just make it a bit more of an explosive turn regardless. Alright, so opponent starts pretty slow with land intapped anyway. We brick on land, so perfect. At least we get an aura down here. Pass the turn. Alright, and we find a mana source. It's not an amazing one, but we can use it here. So let's like play this hard cast. We'll go ahead and Abundant Growth on top of it. So now we have access to green mana here. And then the most efficient thing is Cetizen Training. No counterspell from the opponent, important note there. This is 1 less damage than Rancor, but it's using our mana efficiently. We had a large number of cards in hand. Alright, so end of turn, opponent with the Growth Spiral. And Simic Growth Chamber, bouncing. Assume it was the forest and then replaying the forest. Alright, so another Abundant Growth here is fine. Go ahead and float some white. Chuck this one down here. Trigger. Okay, that gives us something to do with the white. This is like a lot more aggressive than the previous match. We've actually pressured our opponent adequately. And we're like almost forcing them to have fog here, if not next turn, and not to brick once next turn. So that gets them nice and low. No desert for the warrior token as well, which is nice on our end. Accumulated knowledge from the opponent into a second accumulated knowledge. Alright, so Campus in tapped, passing to us, and we're going to go ahead and attack here. I think this is fine. Bogle is surplus because Tangle as a fog effect, right? Alright, so they do have Tangle, so now we still have like lethal next turn, right? That is fine by me. Now we can post-combat a Silhana Ledgewalker, have lethal through Desert. Accumulated knowledge from our opponent. Again, third copy in just 18 cards. No scry effect. So here's a scry effect, Preordain. 2 cards to the bottom, which is a fantastic sign for us. They are digging. Another Preordain. All right, this time 1 to the top, another Preordain. All right, I wonder if it was the third Preordain. interesting here. What are they going to do? Weather the Storm. That makes a decent chunk of sense. We do have lethal damage currently. And I don't see a fog effect in their graveyard. Let's go ahead and Utopia Sprawl over here anyway. Forgot to cycle the Ash Barrens as well, which was... Oh wait, we don't have lethal. This guy stays tapped. My mistake. Can I just skip through my own attacking step? Oh god, what am I doing? Alright, well that didn't matter a huge amount, hopefully. I mean, 3 damage would have been nice, but it wouldn't have been a lethal. Alright, let's go ahead and cycle this one. Alright, so we find another aura. It's weird, it wasn't letting me click that one in. Alright, and we'll throw down on our secondary creature now. And all we have to do is like represent lethal, right? So, I mean, like this sort of an attack should be fine. The Silhana Ledgewalker might be being a little proactive. I want to play around Tangle a little bit here, but I was playing around Tangle plus Enchantment Interaction. Although I guess they'd go after Ethereal Armor if that was the case. Another Accumulated Knowledge. Wow. Opponent's really good at hitting this card, aren't they? Holy smokes. If we do hit like Flaring Pain, we just kill them in one attack, which will be really good. Not anymore. Weather the Storm OP. Alright, Stream of Thought. The fun begins. Interestingly enough, when our opponent does go for the mill strategy at us, they are digging us towards Flaring Pain, which we can flash back, which can be quite helpful. And we're not running into counter magic, which is good. The only downside is their life total is currently at 29 after all of these Weather the Storm effects that they've been going for. Alright, so opponent does have Enchantment Interaction. There is Return to Nature. Significantly nerfing our damage. Alright, now we'll just play out this other Silhana Ledgewalker here and let our opponent know we've got absolutely nothing going on. Running inventory. Opponent could be on 16 again if I didn't miss that attack step. Partially because I'm a dope, partially because of Magic the Gathering online lag. Alright, so Thorn now from our opponent, gaining a life back up to 20. Lotus Petal is not the cookie we are looking for. Let's go ahead and check with everything. I don't really think we're playing around Tangled now. Wait, I clicked on this one. What the hell happened? How frustrating, man. That's now 4 points of damage we missed out on this game. Alright, well, client lag is like getting me pretty bad right now. Could be worse. Could be worse. We are still in this. Opponent with pieces of the puzzle here. There they are. As if Tangle and Moment this piece isn't enough, opponent's packing Fog as well. And obviously these deserts here, which can also be an issue. Chooses Fogs and a Moment's Piece to hand. Also, I love the 7th edition Fog artwork. I don't know if you guys have a favorite, but that is definitely mine. Alright, well, it looks like we currently have lethal, so our opponent does have to Fog. I don't really want to just run out Ethereal Armor. Let's hold that one to play around removal. Alright, not too surprisingly, opponent plays a Moment's Peace. So that has prevented the 11 damage we would have been dealing. Opponent gets a Scry effect here. What's going on there? 4 mana Scry 1. What was the Scry? To the bottom? Well, that's something at the very least. Alright, well, this is not particularly what we are looking for here in these Lotus Petals. Opponent has Fog. The plus side right now as well is when our opponent does start milling us, because they're at 10 life, if they don't gain any extra life, we could catch them off guard with Ethereal Armor, and we could kill through a Fog effect, importantly. Alright, so they have dealt with both our warrior tokens, so the day is coming where I'll probably play this ethereal armor out on the scry effect for the opponent on the top this time. Opponent is like tapping 6 mana for something giant here. Stream of Thought with Replicate. Okay, so like 8 mana. Alright, sure thing. I'm okay with that. Help me out, opponent. Help me. Oh wow, they're like still milled themselves once there, I think. Oh wait, no, they did mill us. Alright, so 2 millfoils have hit us, and the effect I saw was him shuffling cards back in. Also, like, side note, I love here how it like tells everyone what I'm milling, but it's not telling him the cards that are selected and being put back into hand. So if I'm not paying like perfect attention here, I can miss that, which seems very BS. All right, well, there is the Flaring Pain. Again, lethal currently ready to go. Opponent can still gain like 30 life with these Weather the Storms. They did not currently shuffle any of these back in though. Slow this down. Alright, throw this down. And throw this down. So hopefully we have lethal here. We can just flash back the Flaring Pain and then we are good to go into the very slow and painful game 3. If they have enchantment interaction plus like flashback, we might be in a little bit more trouble. Alright, so it doesn't matter how we sequence this, so we can just sequence this beforehand and it will still stop the damage from being prevented. If they really... Wow! Wow, that is huge tech, man. Holy smokes. Okay. I'm getting schooled. Well, we still got one more Flaring Pain that can grace us with its existence. Alright, so opponent keeping these two. Another Moment's Piece to the graveyard off of that thought scour. No, piece of the puzzle, pardon me. Accumulated knowledge from the opponent. 8 in hand now, 13 left in the library. We'll have to see if they have a second copy of this Hydro Blast. That is next level. They must be predicting Flaring Pain if that is a card they're bringing in. Alright, well, that's probably not what we're looking for, but let's throw it down anyway, right? Okay, and yeah, let's attack like this. That's lethal damage. I guess I should be attacking with this Bogle as well, because specifically... Now, we played around Tangle, but specifically if they have another Return to Nature, which it looks like they have shuffled back into their library, then we'd only be doing 2 damage, and that's a bit of a loose attack from me. I should probably have put this mask on the... No, I should probably post-combat the mask and attack with, like, Bogle, Ledgewalker, and post-combat the mask. That way I'm representing lethal. And then still have lethal in the follow-up turn with mask. Alright, opponent, I guess they're going to mill a million billion cards again. Another Stream of Thought here. Replicated twice. Alright, a few more dead cards into the grave there. This is going to be an interesting spot actually though. Alright, so we do see the Flaring Pain. There's potential for us to actually get milled out while Flaring Pain is... Well, but yeah. For us to get milled out while Flaring Pain is still like not given a chance to flash back, basically. My words are not being very helpful there. I have a feeling like they can just reoccur the Hydro Blast here and we're just in a little bit of a troublesome spot. So opponent does pass to us. Let's go ahead and sure, I'll treat us to an Ancestral Mask. Okay, that doesn't want to cast apparently. And we'll just go ahead and give this guy Vigilance as well. But it like buffers the second click away because I do it like too quick after the first one. How bad is this like interface, man? Alright, so let's attack for more than lethal. Alright, opponent with Fog, so let's go ahead and cast this one and see if our opponent has the Hydro Blast once more. If it is, we're in a lot of trouble. Dispel as well. Okay. I think they've got us on lock now. That's a shame. All right. Well, we'll let them play it out, but that's probably GG. Growth Spiral. A piece of the puzzle now from our opponent. And it says they chose Frantic Infantry, Accumulated Knowledge. I must have scribed those away, apologies. Frantic Infantry. Now a Growth Spiral. We're down to like 12 cards in library, by the way. I assume we're just getting milled out here. So 2 copies, that's going to hit us for exactly 12, and we draw to 0 cards. So GG to our opponent. An unorthodox deck, kind of a cool deck. And yeah, I mean, obviously they played it well. This is like a pretty cool deck. I think it's not a very good one to create content into, but I like the premise of how he's built his deck, and it's probably one like a fun one to jam at an FMM or something of that nature. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I do hope you enjoyed the video. As always, let me know what you thought of the match down in the comment section below. Till next time, have a wonderful day. I will see you then.